Shri Service Goyal, Service Kausal Chief Secretary Punjab, Shri Arun Goyal, Shri Ramamurthy, distinguished delegates. It's indeed my privilege to participate in this conference, which is of a very, very relevance as on today. When I saw the theme of the conference, that digital footprint for a smarter India, I was wondering that we have talked about digital footprint, but what is going to provide a fingerprint for smarter India? And of course, that's the Aadhar. So therefore, and then we are also talking about digital India. And Aadhar is going to be Aadhar of a digital India. I mean, the entire digital India, if you see, I mean, in this presentation, we will just talk about this, that how Aadhar is slowly emerging as Aadhar of a digital India. Just to get an idea of the audience, usually in the beginning, few years back, I used to ask the question in a conference like this, that how many of you have got Aadhars? Now I have reversed this question. I asked the delegates and the participants that how many of you haven't got Aadhar? Please raise your hands for my sake. How many of you haven't got Aadhars? I mean, I think there is one gentleman here who hasn't got Aadhar. So all right, I mean, there are 3 people here. But still see in this sample of people here, random sample, majority of people have got Aadhar. So I will presume that most of the people know about this Aadhar, and accordingly I will tailor my talk here. Now, this Digital India vision, has these components. Of course, Digital India vision starts with your digital ID, and then it's going to be your Aadhar ID. So my request to the 3 participants here who haven't got Aadhar, please get your Aadhar made. If you need your help, please tell us, we will get your Aadhar made. Then of course the connectivity. Then universal mobile coverage. Now what point that I am trying to emphasize is that many of these items that I have listed here, like universal mobile coverage, digital wallet, information for all, even e-governance, where citizens are affected or the residents are affected, that also requires your digital ID, that is Aadhar. So that was exactly the reason why I said that Aadhar is going to be Aadhar for the digital ID. You must be wondering that in the beginning of the program, this whole thing used to be called UID card. UID card. Now in government system, when we translate this English to Hindi or Indian language, we do a literal translation. So we used to call it Vishisht Pahchan Patra. But then you must be thinking, how come it has got Aadhar? And there is a very interesting story that this, how does this UID card gets translated into Hindi called Aadhar card. So roughly around 4 years back, we had just launched and then we were around 4 to 5 crores of Aadhar in the country. And that time we were trying to get some feedback from people that, okay, what do they feel about Aadhar, the UID card. So in a village in Uttar Pradesh, we asked one villager that you got your UID card, what do you feel? He said that, he said in Hindi, saying, कि साहब, ये तो मुझे जो UID कार्ड मिला है, इससे मैं अपना राशन कार्ड बनवा सकता हूँ, मैं अपना बिजली का कनेक्शन ले सकता हूँ, मैं किसी दूसरे शहर में गया या दूसरे राज्य में गया, ये लिखा हुआ है हिंदी और इंग्लिश में, इसको सब पहचानते हैं, और इससे मैं बैंक अकाउंट खुलवा सकता हूँ, मैं सब काम कर सकता हूँ, ये तो मेरे जीवन, इससे मैं पेंशन ले सकता हूँ, इससे मैं अपनी नरेगा का जो जॉब है उससे लोग ले सकते हैं, अब तो ये मेरे जीवन का आधार बन गया। अब मैं बोलते बोलते उसने ये ऐसी बात कह दी, हमें जब हम लोग UID में जब हमने उस वीडियो क्लिप को देखा, हमने कहा कि इसने एक बहुत बड़ी बात कह दी है। ये एक इसने कह दिया कि हमारे जीवन का आधार बन गया। तो हम लोगों ने उसी दिन ये सोचा कि इस यूआईडी विशिष्ट यूनिक आईडी कार्ड का जो ट्रांसलेशन है, इंस्टीड ऑफ सेइंग इट विशिष्ट पहचान पत्र, लोगों को बोलने में भी कठिनाई होगी, तो हम लोगों ने उसको कहा कि इट शुड बी आधार। सो दैट्स हाउ दिस होल आधार केम। Now, I mean, it's just some little bit of background that why did we consider this, bringing this Aadhaar or UID in our country? Because people had already a plethora of IDs. If you check your wallet, you had multiple ID, like, the PAN card, and then, you have, all forms of ID, voter ID card, then, at your home, you may be having a ration card or driving license, all kinds of ID. But the real challenge was that establishing ID was a very, very serious challenge for poor. If they wanted to get a ration card made, or maybe some insurance or bank account, or for the Nareka jobs, for anything, they require a credible form of ID, which they did not have. And this problem became more pronounced when they moved from one village to another village, or maybe to another taluka, or another district, or another state. Imagine, people coming with their, ration card of Tamil Nadu written in Tamil, going to Delhi. Who is going to recognize this? Similarly, maybe in some other form of ID. And that person was lost. In fact, we all have felt at some point of time, we are reaching such a stage where our children are, passing out of the college, and then they're joining jobs in some other city. They used to have a tremendous problem in establishing their identity in some other city, for opening bank account, for getting electricity connection, and so and so. Because whenever you try to establish your ID, they will ask you, for example, ration card, and if you go for a ration card, they will ask you for the electricity bill. If you go for electricity connection, they will ask you for the ration card. So it used to become a cyclical. People didn't know how to break that. And maybe, the people who had some means, they could do that, but then for the poor, it was a massive challenge. And if you cannot establish your identity, then you get excluded from your entitlements and your rights and opportunities. So basically, India was becoming two worlds. Those who have ID, those who don't have ID. Those who don't have ID, they get excluded. Now, it's not only the exclusion from the your entitlements, you also get financially excluded. If you don't have an ID, how do you have a bank accounts? Now, this was the scenario only a few months back. Only 30,000 habitation had banks. Why? Because there was no demand. Why there was no demand? Because, even after 67 years of independence, only till few months back, before our Honorable Prime Minister launched this Jan Dhan Yojana, only the 40% of the population had bank accounts. And then the other things, which is also a part of your financial inclusion, even the life insurance cover, till few months back, was less than 10%. Now you have a Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana, you have, the Atal Suraksha Yojana. Now, but then till few months back, this was the status. 10%, 6% in a population, in a developing country, in this 21st century. Is this the way, we are going to deal with, 1/6 of the world population? I mean, financially, the most financially included state, Himachal Pradesh, only 45%. Bihar, 10%. This was the situation a few months back. And what was the reason? None of you couldn't get any financial services without a credible form of ID. Open a bank account, try to take an insurance, try to, participate in the stock market, for example, capital market, or mutual fund, or take insurance, everywhere the same situation. So what was the unique ID mandate? This whole program was launched in 2010. Provide unique ID number to all residents. We are not saying citizens, we are saying residents. It means citizen as well as the others who are residing in the country, may or may not be citizens, we will provide all. Then we use the, again the latest technology. We say that we will take basic demographics, all biometric. You are already aware, most of you have already got the UID, you have gone through the process. So this is what we do, fingerprints and iris. Then this third point, which you may not be aware, that we are guaranteeing uniqueness to the biometric deduplication. Now, let's say whenever you have enrolled, your biometrics are deduplicated against the entire database of the, the UID holders, all biometrics, and only when the no match is found, we generate the UID number. So this is what we do. Then the fourth is also very important, which is different from any other ID system in the world, not only in India. Let's say you have a ration card, for example, in India, and then somebody says that what is the guarantee that this ration card is not fake, this is not genuine. You have no way to establish this. PAN card, if you have a PAN card, how do you know that this PAN card is not made on a computer Photoshop, right? So, but here we provide online, cost-effective, ubiquitous authentication services across the country 24/7, 365 days in a year. Now these are small devices. You may have seen, these are the devices, which are coming up. Because why I'm saying this, this is going to be a foundation for the digital India. That you have to give ID to everyone, and you also have to have some mechanism for authenticating somebody's Aadhaar number, across the country through such small device, which will operate on maybe even 2G or maybe a small GPRS or any telecom connection. Now, what UID would do in India? As I mentioned, provision of a robust, one-time, reusable, nationally online verifiable ID to those who don't have IDs, plus also those who have IDs. Another very important thing is that most of the countries, they had some form of ID, then paper ID, then they had some smart card, or they had some other forms of ID. They have progressed. Just like we did it in the telecom, we leapfrogged. Like from connectivity point of view, we kind of bypassed landline. Landline was given to very few, but then we bypassed this to this. So here we also have similarly leapfrogged from no ID to online ID. And what will it do? It will clean up the existing database through the uniqueness. No duplicates, no fakes. Now, we all have seen that number of ration card unit holders in any state will exceed the population of the country. Similarly, if some exercise was done in many states. Yesterday I was told that in one state, I'm not naming that state, there the number of voters in a state, normally voters are adult, above a certain age, that exceeds population. How can that be? Naturally, you have lots of duplicates, lots of fakes. Similarly, we read in the newspapers every day that you have a fake. If any card is given, then there is always some fake and duplicates and so and so. So therefore, by eliminating duplicates and fakes, you can improve your targeting, you can improve your delivery of the services, and also the cost of the delivery of services. And plus it is very different form of ID, because see, most of the other IDs, they were for a specific purpose. For example, PAN card, it is for filing income tax. But for passport, it is for traveling abroad. For ration card, for getting this thing. This is one thing which is not linked to any service or any entitlement. This is your ID. In the morning I was mentioning that this does not guarantee the citizenship, this does not guarantee your entitlement. This is like your genetic code in a 12-digit number. Because it is directly linked to your deduplicated biometric ID. Different ID, how it is? It is forever. Like somebody is born, he gets an ID, it remains till he is alive, and also after he goes away from the world. That number is reserved for him for eternity. We don't delete that number. For wherever, whichever country, across India, wherever you go, this is your national ID for everyone. Because sometimes, in other IDs, passport, it is only for a certain class of people, certain purpose. Ration card is only for certain purpose. But here it is for everyone, for rich and poor, for rural and urban, for everyone. And it's a truly national. This is one card, can you imagine, which has all these, can do that. What is the status? As we speak today morning, we have crossed 85 crores of Aadhaar in the country. It is a matter of great pride for us. If you consider, it far, far exceeds the population of North America and entire Europe. This is what we have done in the last 4.5 years. We have today in our country, it is again a matter of pride for all of us, that we have the largest biometric database in the world. Biometric database of 85 crore people. Now, which is the second largest? The second largest database, we crossed far, long time back. The second largest biometric database is with the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation of United States. I am told that they have a biometric database of about 10 crore people. And here we have 85 crore biometric database, this thing. Then we do enrollment of 15 lakh people every day. We have the capacity to increase this to 20 lakh people per day. Now imagine when somebody enrolls today, his biometrics will be matched with the biometrics of 85 crore people. And when we have the capacity, when we are enrolling 15 lakh people, so 15 lakh people's biometrics are being matched with biometrics of 85 crore people in 24 hours. So this is the kind of huge computing facilities we have set up in our country. Again, it is a matter of pride for us. We are printing 20 lakh Aadhaar almost every day, and we are dispatching it to people. We have made even the Aadhaar card freely downloadable. I mean, you lose your Aadhaar card, doesn't matter. You go and download it. You have changed your address, doesn't matter. You go and change your address online in a secure manner. I can't change your address. Only you will be able to change your address there. You want to change your, any field, update your mobile number, you can go and do this and get it printed. We have today 90,000 operators working across the country doing this 15 lakh enrollment every day. And we have the capacity to do 100 million authentication every day. 100 million authentication every day. This is the kind of capacity we have developed during the last 4.5 years. Now these are the Aadhaar coverage. I mentioned that we have reached around 85 crores. Now these are the states who have done this coverage. Like for example, there are some states who have gone beyond 100%. They have enrolled more than that. Of course, because it's based on biometric, these figures, you must be wondering why it is 108%, 104%. Obviously, they are migrants. At the time of population, 2011 population, but then when we do the Aadhaar count, it is as per the as per the position today. The population is as per the 2011, and then in many states, if we have exceeded, the reason could be the population would have increased, or some migrations have taken place. So this is the reason. Goa also ranks very high. I mean, Goa is the host state. Goa ranks somewhere around 93%. Now, so this is the situation. Out of 121 crore population, we have 8426, but then as we speak today, we have crossed 85 crores. Now, what are the applications? Now, because we had the UID, because our Prime Minister, when he launched this Jan Dhan Yojana, I mean, he gave a direction saying that, look, don't ask too many questions, like, give this ID or that ID. If somebody walks in your bank with an Aadhaar card either in the hand or Aadhaar number in his mind, you authenticate him there, do eKYC and open bank account, no question asked, don't ask for any other proof of residence or proof of address or any other document. Do that. Then this LPG, most of you must be getting your gas cylinder through the, that subsidy through the bank account, because it has been linked to the Aadhaar number. Then the PDS, same exercise is being done to link all ration card into the Aadhaar number, Manrega, scholarship, pension, fertilizer subsidy, all these things are being linked to the Aadhaar number so that the duplicate and fakes are this thing. I mean, some question is to be raised that, how so much money is being spent on this? What is the utility? In last 4 or 5 years, we have spent around about 10,000, 12,000 crores of rupees on this, total. Now, if you just see 3 programs, 3F, food, fertilizers and fuel, total amount of subsidy spent by government of India is about 2 lakhs crores. Now, there were some studies that, out of that, how much would be the leakage? Normally, generally, people say that thumb rule is around 20%. This is the per annum. So if it is a 2 lakh crore, and if that figure is correct, then you have about 40,000 crore, kind of a duplicate and fake and bogus leakages because of that. Now, if you are spending this money, and by doing this, if you can ensure that there is no duplicate, no fakes, and therefore thereby you can spend the government subsidy, money well spent, apart from empowering people, giving ID and so and so. Even tracking, education, health, immunization, electronic, medical records and so. I mean, everything, you can track from birth to death, person, right? Portability of benefits and identities. Our countries, will see more and more migration as we progress. Then, if the people move from one state, another state, why should I get my ration card again made? If I am coming from, let's say, moving from Mumbai to Delhi, I should be able to get my ration from Delhi ration shop. It should be possible. So portability of benefit or identity is another very important thing. Then other applications like driving license, passport, even attendance, for example. Now the government of India, you must have read in the newspaper that government of India has mandated all offices to have an Aadhaar-based attendance system. So that's what is being done. Then KYC, this bank account, then the mutual fund, capital markets, everywhere this Aadhaar-based eKYC have been accepted and they are being used. Election Commission of India has launched a massive program of purification of electoral database because they know that how much duplicate, fakes and bogus they have. So they want to purify it by linking with this Aadhaar ID, and they want to finish this by July end. Now, how Aadhaar is being leveraged today? I mean, these are the many things which a person has to get in order to get the full entitlement or the full rights. And for this proof of identity, proof of address being used, they are being online authenticated and getting the benefit.